Howdy, all my nieces and nephews. How the hell are you? It's your Uncle Perry, and you know what that means. It's time for another scary-ass story. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more chilling tales like this. Also, like the video and share with other folks that like scary shit. I appreciate it. Now, let's get creepy! The Ghost Hunt from Hell by Uncle Perry. I love to go ghost hunting. My friends and I formed a ghost hunting team called Paranormal Discovery. We are quite the diverse bunch. We range in age from 22 to 55 years old. We are from several different ethnic backgrounds and beliefs. We even have a skeptic in the group who keeps everything balanced. Everybody has day jobs, so we're more like weekend warriors. Don't get me wrong though, we're very serious about what we do. Everybody has their specialty. My name's Joe, and my specialty is the SLS, Structured Light Sensor. It's basically an Xbox Kinect camera attached to a monitor. The camera displays little green dots around the room, and the Xbox detects movement and displays the movement in the form of a stick figure on the monitor. It shows where the ghosts are and their movements. Monica, my girlfriend, is in charge of EVP, Electronic Voice Phenomenon. She uses a handheld voice recorder and asks the empty room questions, waits about 10 seconds, then rewinds and listens for a response from the quiet room. It's kinda hit or miss, but when she does get responses, it's completely mind-blowing. Jamal, my best friend, is the spiritualist medium empath. He has a direct line to the spirit world. He can see and hear spirits without any electronic assistance. He'll sometimes use divining rods to assist with his connection. He comes from a family history that has this special ability. And last but not least is Alejandra. She's the non-believer of the bunch. She's not catty about it. She's just very logical in her approach. A lot of times, she catches what's really going on when we're blinded by thinking everything is paranormal. She uses no equipment. She has her intuition and logic to debunk most of what we think is paranormal. Each of us has a GoPro with night vision either on our head or on our chest. And of course, everybody has at least one flashlight. We've been doing ghost hunts for 4 years now. We average 2 to 3 hunts a month. We've seen and heard some pretty incredible stuff. And on the flip side, we've been to several locations with no activity. You just never know what you're going to get. One morning, I got a call from someone who wanted to remain anonymous. They advised me of an abandoned house that might be haunted. It was fairly close, about an hour drive, so I said we would check it out. I pulled it up on Google Maps to see the property layout. It was a huge house on about 5 acres. It was out in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors. Perfect! I called the rest of the spirit squad and told them we have a project. We met at my place at about 4 in the afternoon. I briefed everybody on the research I found out about the location. It was built in 1875 by an Amish group. Its first inhabitants were a farmer, his wife, and 4 children. It's a 3,100 square feet, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, Gothic revival type house. It was abandoned in 1981. No reason was given as to why it was abandoned. We packed our gear, loaded ourselves into my SUV, and headed to the location. When we got there, it was dusk. The driveway was gravel, but badly overgrown. I plowed through the brush to the circular driveway in front of the house. It was huge and ominous. Some shutters were hanging to the side. The siding was falling off and nature seemed to be taken over. It definitely looked haunted. Giddy with excitement, we got out, unpacked, and set up our equipment. By now, it was completely dark. There were no street lights, so it was pitch black. Everybody's flashlight lit up, and we carefully walked up the decaying steps to the front door. The rotting wood creaked beneath my feet. The front porch had holes in it everywhere. We made it to the front door, and it was cracked open. I pushed it open and called out, "If anybody's in here, let us know. We're only taking pictures. We come in peace." Sometimes squatters will take refuge in abandoned houses, and they can be quite territorial. I got no response. The first thing we need to do is clear the house. Just make sure nobody is hiding anywhere. We spread out and started checking the rooms. After about 10 minutes, everybody had said clear, and we knew the place was empty. We split up into groups of 2. Me and Monica in one, and Jamal and Alejandra in the other. We also split into different parts of the house to keep from contaminating each other's evidence with noise. Monica and I went to the basement. Jamal and Alejandra went to the 2nd floor. The basement was creepy as hell. It smelled of mold and spiderwebs were everywhere. We tripped over miscellaneous junk and found a semi-clear area to investigate. I scanned around using the SLS while Monica got her voice recorder started. As I was panning around, a stick figure popped up on the screen. It was sitting in the corner of the room, but there was no chair. I spoke to it. "Hi there!" It put up an arm and waved at me. Monica started doing EVP. "What's your name? Why are you here?" She stopped the recorder and rewound it. The stick figure was still there. It looked like it was drinking something or smoking a cigarette. The recorder played back. "What's your name?" "Death." "Why are you here?" "Get out." The stick figure got up and zipped off screen. Suddenly, a shovel fell over in the darkness. It scared the shit out of us. I scanned around. I saw the stick figure in the far corner of the basement. It was leaning against the wall. It started walking towards us. Then it started running. A bookcase fell over as it ran past, and it barely missed Monica. Freezing cold air passed through us as the stick figure got huge on the screen and disappeared. On the second floor, in one of the bedrooms, Jamal got a feeling of uneasiness. He said, "Something is not right. We're not welcome here at all." Alejandra said, I'm bored. Let's liven this up a little. If you want to kill Jamal, make a noise." "Alejandra!" Jamal shouted. A tap was heard out in the hallway. Alejandra laughed and said, "If you want to possess me, you can. You have my permission. Come and get you a fresh soul." Nothing happened. Jamal said, "Alejandra, you're going too far. You don't understand what you're messing with." "Oh, I know what I'm messing with. It's you." She laughed. Jamal got out his divining rods and asked a question. "Point the rods to where you are." They stayed straight and didn't move. Alejandra said, "See, you're freaking out over nothing." Then they slowly started moving. They both pointed at Alejandra. She said, "Okay, you got me back. Ooh, spooky." Jamal said, I'm not moving them." Suddenly, Alejandra lurched forward and almost fell down. She whipped around and said, "Joe, stop fucking around." But no one was there. Jamal said, "Alejandra, you need to get out of here. You're in danger." She was still looking away. "Allie, are you all right?" He touched her on the shoulder, and her head crunched around with her body still facing away. Her eyes were black, and her face was emotionless. It looked like black snot was dripping out of her nose. "Holy shit!" he said. In a demonic voice, she said, "You're next." Back in the basement, we agreed that was enough excitement and decided to check out the attic. As we were going up the stairs, we could hear Jamal and Allie talking. We didn't want to mess up their investigation, so we quietly crept up the stairs to the attic. The attic door had this weird symbol painted on it. It looked Celtic or something. I pushed on the door, but it was stuck. I put my shoulder into it, and it flew open. I almost fell down. Dust was flying everywhere. Boxes were stacked along the walls. I started looking around with the SLS. Nothing was showing up. Monica started asking questions. "Whoever is here, make yourself known." Nothing. I continued scanning. A small stick figure appeared near the window. It was looking out of the window. Monica inquired, "What's your name, little one? What are you doing up here?" She played it back. "What's your name, little one?" "Jack." "What are you doing up here?" "I'm waiting." On the SLS, the little figure was waving us over to the window. "He wants us to come over there," I said. Monica and I cautiously walked towards the window. At about 5 feet away, Monica was thrust toward the window. She screamed. I grabbed for her, but missed. She hit the window with her chest, and it shattered. She was lodged in the window frame with blood dripping down the glass. I reached for her, but could only get about a foot away. Something was holding me back. On the second floor, Jamal recoiled, reached into his pocket, and grabbed a vial of holy water. He popped the cap off with his thumb and slung it on her. She howled as it boiled on her skin. "Allie, fight it! Come back to me!" he yelled as he sprayed her again with the holy water. She screamed again and shoved him hard through the wall. He got up and yelled, "Guys, we need to get the fuck out of here!" Jamal staggered up and ran. As he was traversing the stairs, something pushed him from behind, and he rolled down the remaining stairs. Stunned, he attempted to get up, but his leg was broken. He could see his bone sticking through his pants. He hopped out to the car and started blowing the horn. I heard the car horn blowing from the attic and knew that was the panic signal we had agreed upon. Monica reached back toward me crying. Our fingertips touched, and without warning, she was released and fell back into my arms. I put her arm over my shoulder, and we raced back to my car. I pulled out the first aid kit and dressed her wounds. Jamal was in agony. His leg was dangling lifelessly below the knee. It almost made me sick. I asked him, "Where's Alejandra?" He didn't answer. He was going into shock, and I needed to get him to a hospital. But I wasn't going to leave Alejandra there. I turned to bolt back into the house to get her when I saw her walking out of the house. She looked confused. She said, "Why did you guys leave me in the house?" I said, "Get in the car. We have to take Jamal and Monica to the hospital." "What happened?" I'll explain along the way." We rushed to the hospital. Jamal's leg was set and cast, and Monica got 42 stitches in her torso. When we told the doctor what had happened, he said, "I've heard of that place. Supposedly a satanic cult used to perform rituals there. Every time somebody goes in there, something bad happens to them, or they're never heard from again. You're lucky you guys got out alive." We still do ghost hunts. I'm just way more thorough with my research before we commit to investigate.